Star Citizen and cargo. In 3.0, I did a lot of cargo runs. I did several live streams where I ran cargo. I did a couple videos about cargo, and cargo hauling was a lot of fun. It was broken, and what I mean by that was that it wasn't exactly balanced, because you would sell stuff and make just ridiculous amounts of profit, easily doubling your earnings on just about anything you sold. There was a few places where you would end up taking a loss on it because you didn't exactly go to sell it at the right type of place, but for the most part, you could make a fortune very quickly. In 3.1, that went away. Now, I've been working on this video since 3.1 dropped, and the reason it's been taking me so long to get it out is, aside from having a normal job and everything out of this, the game is kind of broken with cargo right now. So, part one of this, you've seen some of the stuttering in the previous video, and you've seen it just now when the ship's taking off and the FPS drops. That can lead to game crashes, and if your game crashes while you're in the middle of transit, you lose your ship, and you lose any cargo you have on your ship. So, as mentioned several times, you really don't want to fully deck out your ship. In 3.0, I never really had crashing problems. I did once or twice, but it was so easy to make a fortune that I didn't care. If I'd lost the cargo, it made no difference. But now, they've tried to balance that, and in first part of 3.1, they really reined in the price of things for cargo, to the point where you're not making squat anymore, and it really makes it impossible or really non-viable to haul cargo. It's not worth your time at the moment. And with the way the players are in the game, it's a little more difficult to get in there and handle everything because there's so much risk involved with cargo. Now, I know SIG is really trying to have you test other aspects of the game that weren't as viable in 3.0, such as missions and beacons and other things like that. But again, I'm not big into all the other aspects. Beacons and hauling people around, sure, I'd probably be into some of that, but right now there's a lot of trolls and not a massive system to really say these guys are trolls. So, but that's for another video. Alright, my first cargo run, I came out to a different location that I've not really been to before. There happened to be another ship here, which I thought was pretty cool, so I figured, well, maybe they'll be nice and not blow me away. I came in, they were there, so I decided to come hide in the corner, and hopefully they wouldn't shoot me. Now, that was a real lag out there, so this area was really choppy. I'd been on another planet earlier, another reason for the delay, met this guy, we saluted, we waved. He ended up shooting me in the back as I went inside, so yay, kudos to him. This guy went prone on the floor, so I figured he was being docile. I figured I'll just ignore him. I don't want to interact. I just want to get some cargo, and I want to get out of here. So he ran around me for a minute, looked at stuff, and then ultimately he left, which is good. So I'm going to buy some cargo, decking out the maximum 3 SCU I have on my Aurora, but I'm looking at what kind of has the most cost, partially because I want to see if I'll be able to sell it for the most profit and see if that still holds true the way it did essentially in 3.1. So there goes that guy. Either he doesn't know how to fly or he's about to shoot me, so I decided not to wait. I'm just going to take off and floor it, which I did and got out of there post-haste. And I headed all the way back to Olazar. There he is flying up behind me. He chased me for a little while, but I don't think he really wanted to kill me. I think he just wanted me to join his group or something. I think we chatted for a moment in the group chat. But the place had come had some different items that I hadn't really purchased before, and I wasn't sure what to buy. The trade routes aren't fully established. Everything's not quite as set up, so I got back to Olazar. Came in to sell some good stuff. And here's where we're going to see the painful part. So let's get into the computer, select my ship, and let's see what we can sell, and let's do a bit of a comparison. So the maximum I can sell, the items I have, is 2477 UEC. That really doesn't seem like all that much of a profit. Let's double check what I paid for it. So paid on the left, sold on the right. So I paid 2404 and I sold 2477. So I made essentially 70 UEC profit on a run that took close to half an hour. That is chump change because armor sets are over 3,000. It's expensive. So I figured, well, let's try a varied route. let's try to do some other things. My freelancer was, I guess, really excited to be pulled out of the hangar for the first time in 3.1, so it was doing a wheelie. And the ship looks amazing at 70 FPS because this night I started out at, I think, 100 FPS and was currently at 70 or 80 on the landing pad. Boy, did it look good. But we're going to take off and we're going to go back to the trade route that I did a lot more frequently in 3.0 back down on Daymar. And in this, what I'm going to try to do is purchase a few smaller items at a lower cost so I don't blow all my money. I'm going to try to keep a little bit in reserve, and I'm going to spread the items I'm purchasing out. So that way I can see which items will kind of earn me the most money, and we'll see what happens. So here I am. I landed my ship at the hydroponics facility where I'm going to buy some of the first items, and then I'm going to head over to the mining facility, Shubin, and see what I can sell them for. So let's see what we can get here. Mostly what I would do here is just buy the processed food, which I'm going to buy. I figured the mining facility, they could use some food items. I'll probably get some good change for that, but I really don't have that much money, so I can't do it like I did before. I'm going to purchase 1,800 worth. Then I'm going to buy some stims, whatever they're called. Again, I'm going to purchase about, 1,600, not 1,800. I'm going to purchase about 1,600 worth. Get pretty low on funds, but I still have some in the bank, so I'm safe for now. I figured I'd be able to sell these for at least 2,000, maybe somewhere in that range, and I'd make a reasonable profit. Not a great profit, but enough to make it viable and worth my time. Unfortunately, we got some lag again. Alright, so we're coming into Shubin. Now, I started noticing a bug here where I could no longer set destinations within the mobiGlas, so I had to manually find Shubin on the surface. Now I could see the location of Shubin, thankfully, on the mobiGlas, but I couldn't actually do anything with it. I had to manually figure out my direction of travel on the map and get close enough to it so that I could actually see it. So inside Shubin, let's take a look at what we've got here. So if you remember, I paid about 1,600 for each. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so we're going to sell. I'm going to go for the processed food, or stims. 1,632. 1,700 profit. That's not bad. So 1,600. So I'm making about 100 UEC profit off of each item. I was hoping for more, honestly, but the stims were the best. 1,632, so that's just over 100 UEC of profit. Not exactly hot stuff, but I figured let's sell half of them here and see what I can get for that back on Ollazar, because if you remember before, I used to sell a lot of these, at least the food product, back at Ollazar for double, over double, sometimes close to triple my profit in some of the other videos and some of the other play I did. So let's hawk these things for 800. And, well, while we're here, let's pick up some other stuff. Now, I know you're not really supposed to. I didn't care at this point because I knew this was pretty much the end of my running cargo. After 3.1, everything got reset with 3.1.1, and I had to start over again. So I'm going to buy gold. I only have 4 UEC left. No big deal. I take off from the planet. I get into orbit, and, oh, what the heck's going on with my mobiGlas? It's tripping out. It's opening, it's closing, it's opening, it's closing. It finally closes, then I open it, and it auto-closes. Great. I can't use it anymore. I could no longer go in, set destinations. I could no longer quantum travel. I couldn't do anything. It was completely bugged out to the point where I had to exit the game, couldn't rejoin, supposedly coming in 3.1.2, but I was down. I lost all of my cargo, and that's kind of the story for 3.1.1 right now. And ultimately, my advice to anybody who wants to run cargo in this version, don't. Avoid it. Play other aspects of the game. If you only have a cargo ship, haul people. There's other things you can do in the game that aren't broken right now, and that's what I suggest you do. So we will definitely be back with cargo. We'll probably try maybe again in 3.1.2 when you can rejoin the instance or get back into your ship with your cargo and it's not all gone. And we'll see what happens at that point. We'll start looking at some trade routes. But for now, don't do cargo. It's broken. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.